Hey everybody. So I this morning when we had our live class thought that the meeting was recording, but it wasn't. So I'm just gonna walk through what I talked about with the other students so that you are able to take a look and see what you think. Okay. So chapter 27, we have our unus nauta adjectives, and then we also have a couple of other words like idem, eadem, idem, or ipse, and things like that. So this assignment looks a little bit different on your end because there's nothing highlighted, and I have gone in and upped the font to size 18 and changed it to Times New Roman because it's a little easier to read on the screen, okay? So if I'm highlighting something in green, that means it's the stem of the word. And if something is in yellow, it might still be the stem of the word, but it's something to pay extra attention to, okay? So we would start by looking at the noun adjective pair eandem noctem, okay? When we're figuring out the case number gender of a noun adjective pair, it's always best to start with the noun because the adjective has to match the case number gender of the noun so that they're the same. If there's only one case it can be, then it's pretty simple, accusative singular here with that em third declension ending. Because this comes from the word nox noctis, that's a vocab thing, knowing that nox is a feminine noun. And if we weren't sure on the gender, if you look up at the adjective aeondem, aeon from idem, eadem, idem is a feminine form, taking the place of aeon. So the adjective can sometimes help you out if you've forgotten the gender. Okay, so you would go through and find the case number genders. Most of these are not too bad, but let's take a look at number 2. We've got uter and mens mentis. So the stem of uter is going to be uter, UTR, and then the stem of mens mentis is ment, MENT. If I'm looking at the ending E long I, if this word was a second declension noun, it could be genitive singular or it could be nominative plural. So what I have to do is think about the word mens mentis and ask myself if it is second declension. If I look at that second principal part, mentis, when I have nouns that have an is ending for the genitive singular, that tells me that they are third declension nouns. So I know that menti cannot be a nominative plural form. So think about our unus nauta adjectives. Unus nauta adjectives are juicy adjectives, and juicy adjectives are going to have a long I in the what case? In the dative case. Okay? Awesome. Solum, solem. One of these means the only. One of them means the sun. Pay attention to the gender on this noun. That one is one you have to have memorized. Okay, toto flumine, that one's pretty straightforward. And then again, we come down to number 5, oculi ipsius. With oculi ipsius, again, that long I could be either genitive singular or nominative plural, depending on what's going on. Because this word is actually second declension, both of those options would be possible. So I have to go next and look at the adjective, which may give some clarification. Again, the word ipse is one of our juicy adjectives, which means that the ius ending shows up in what case? Shows up in the genitive case. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit. I got some questions in the live class about how to do these problems. Let me change this so that they are all Times New Roman, font size 18. Okay. So when you are taking a Latin noun or adjective and putting it in a specified form, you always need to start with the stem or the base, okay? So, alius, alia, alium, you are going to take off that us ending, and your stem is ali here. After that, at that point, we are going to look at the case number gender and add the correct stem. Because this is an adjective, it's going to have different endings for masculine, feminine, and neuter. So this form requested is feminine, and I'm going to look at my first declension endings for feminine adjectives in first and second declension. So if I go through my singulars, I've got a, I, and a with a macron. Okay. Here the accusative ending would be so I add that ending, and then I've completed the question. I also went ahead and did number 2 with everyone because this word, idem, eadem, idem, is a little bit tricky, okay? This word is a compound word, so we've got is, ea, id that we're used to, and then we're going to add a suffix dem. So when I am looking for the ablative plural masculine, the first thing I need to do is find the ablative plural masculine form of is, ea, id. I would do that by either, if I remembered what it was, I would just write it down, or if I didn't, I would go and run through my plural forms of is, ea, id. So we would say ei, ai, ea, eorum, earum, eorum, eis, 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 eos, eas, ea, eis, eis, eis. So ablative plural masculine is going to be eis. After I get that form, all I have to do is add the ending dem, and we have the form eistem. Okay. I have highlighted genitive singular neuter and dative singular masculine in yellow because those ones you're going to have to pay special attention to when you do them. And then again, here's the stem of ipse. I realized just now that we didn't go ahead and talk about the translations for the first section. So let's look at those. Most of these are pretty straightforward. The ones that I can see being a little bit tricky are number 1 and number 5, because again, the word idem, eadem, idem is pretty new, and the word ipse also is less familiar. So let's talk about the translation. Remember our mnemonic device, dem's the same. Okay, so the word is, ea, id normally means this or that. When we have the word idem, eadem, idem, it means this same or that same or just the same. Any of those translations are correct. Okay, so our mnemonic device again is dem's the same. Okay, so when I'm translating this in the accusative, let's think about what we're going to need. Because it's accusative, we don't need any kind of preposition. So again, you could use this same, the same, or that same. And then after that, I would just add the translation for noctem, which is night. So the same night. Like, I might use that if I were telling a story to my friends and saying something like, yesterday or 2 weeks ago, I was walking down the street and I found an $100 bill. That same night, I also saw my favorite Vegas Golden Knights player. So again, that would be the context you might use it in. Okay, so let's talk about number 5. I'm sorry, I'm yawning so much. Oculi ipsius. Oculi ipsius. Ipse, ipsa, ipsum is a little strange to translate because it doesn't have a good equivalent in English. It's the intensive pronoun, so you could say the very, the actual, or essentially any pronoun with the suffix self, okay? Because our word oculi means eye, we're going to talk about Mad-Eye Moody from Harry Potter, if you know that character. So I could say of the eye itself, or I could say the very eye or the actual eye, right? So if I were telling my story and I was saying, I saw the eye, wait, nope. I had a vision of the eye itself, or I saw the very eye that Mad-Eye Moody used, or something like that. So any way you take it, it's going to be just bringing extra attention or emphasis to the noun, okay? So oculi ipsius, again, genitive of the eye, and then you would add itself afterwards. Or you could say of the very eye or of the actual eye, whichever translation you are most comfortable with. The very and the actual come before the noun, and the self form comes after. Okay, and we already talked about this section. Let's move on to this next part. By the way, your test is going to have questions like each of these types of questions. So you can use this as a study guide or a review for you as you're preparing for your test on Friday. No statue. Okay. Again, translating from English into Latin. I don't care if you put the adjective first or the noun first. That's up to you. Either are fine by me. And then let's talk about how you would do that. Finding the case number gender is pretty straightforward. No statue, nominative, singular, feminine. The trickier part is the translation, but we're going to basically be following the same pattern that we did for this previous section, okay? So once you figure it out that no statue is nominative, singular, feminine, and then you take a look and you see that the word for nolus is no, then you just take the word nolus and make it nominative, singular, feminine. You take the word imago and make it nominative, singular, feminine. We did talk about the word ipsius and capitis. These ones seem a little more difficult just because we're not used to this expression for intensive, but in Latin it's just a regular noun adjective pair. And same deal for alterum. Remember that we have the word alter, which means the other, and then we have the word alius, which means other, another. So make sure you're using the correct word there. We're running out on time, unfortunately, but let's take a look at this sentence. I've gone through here and marked the sentence. So cives ipsi begins the clause. It's our nominative subject. Everything in yellow is our nominative subject. Qui says, heyo, start a new clause. Then I've got my prepositional phrase, trans terram. Now, this case use is a little bit tricky. Trans means across, and you're being asked here in the syntax for the case use. So when you move across, you move from one place to another. And so you would have something like a place to which. Let's see. Any other things? You've got your direct object, your adverb, your verbs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'd be happy to help.